All right, just a quick update, guys. Just wanted to go through Bitcoin again. Again, not a lot of opportunity in Bitcoin right now. I have something called the weekly TPO, which is just basically a way to display data. It kind of stacks the candlesticks. Like let's say you have something like this. It's just stacking it kind of like blocks on the side here. And I'll make a video going over this in the future. So if you're interested, just drop a follow and I can show that to you later. But basically just what I'm looking at here, look at the weekly distribution on the TPO. Basically you're looking for where did we spend the most time, they call it. And it's in the middle. And where are we right now? We're smack dab in the middle of this. Basically, it's not something I like to trade. I really like to fade extremes. I'm kind of a contrarian trader. And when we're doing stuff like this, my edge is basically non-existent. Um, Another thing to note, when we get these really tight ranges like this, so what'll happen is volatility will get crushed. Um, and when you start crushing volatility, it's really hard to enter trades because let's say even this is your level, you just end up getting chopped out of it because you have like time decay, let's say theta decay, almost in like an option, even if you enter on futures, because you're just sitting in the trade for so long, waiting for what you want to happen. My preferred trading environment is we get these large inefficient moves, let's say something like this, and you can just kind of enter and you're immediately in profit, and you don't have to worry about, you're second guessing yourself down here as it chops you to death. And then like, oh, it does go and hit target, but you've been in the trade for 2 days sweating. So something I don't really like to trade. Personally, we have seen the Bitcoin premium come back, which I have been talking about a lot. The Binance versus Coinbase perp premium, probably Sailor, maybe back in the books. They did say, I forgot, he just did buy, I think it was this candle here. I forget, he did just came out and bought some more. So looks like Sailor is back on the TWAP, just some flow to watch out for. That could set up a good intraday trade. But honestly, guys, I mean, you can see here on my volume profile, we have this huge cone. Um, yeah, I don't really want to trade unless we get up into here and we flip 100K as support and then we start chopping out of it. That's a long for me. If we come up here and we reject, it might even be lower, it might be here just into this low volume area. We reject, that could be a short, and then you just basically trade it back into the mean, like something like that. Um, and then also anything kind of down here, I mean, you already kind of had this trade. But again, this this is one of the ones where you're just chopped to death and then it ends up working out. I didn't even take this trade, to be honest with you. If you did, you sat in it for way too long, or I guess not way too long, but you just like let's say you got into it here when we swept like this low, and then you are just holding it. Let's say you're like targeting the other side of the range. I mean, you basically never even got an exit. Your chop comes back to your entry. You're like, oh crap. It comes back again, doesn't lose. Let's say the main like your stops here. Now, it's just not fun. But something you can see, look at the inefficiency of this move, the fastness of how it came down, the volume capitulation here. Again, something I like to talk about, high volume. So, anyways, if you are going to enter on some trades, make sure you get the confluence with the high volume, kind of the inefficient move. That's what I like entering on instead of efficient price action because it just chops you absolutely to death. Something else I wanted to go over, gold seems to be going crazy right now. I am watching that 3K level. We'll see what happens. Um, there is something called the 100-year-old trade where we kind of hit the level and everyone thinks it's going to stall and we just blast through it and you get like a couple, let's say it goes like 30, 50, and then you might be able to get a nice short. But maybe not. I don't really trade gold much, so I probably just watch it and kind of see how it develops. But something I could see happening is we blast 3K, everyone gets kind of bullish and then it reverses. But gold is moving more on macroeconomic events. It's not it's not moving on TA right now for sure. Other countries are worried about the US debt bubble. Gold's a safe haven, worried about tariffs, all that kind of crap. Gold is safe haven when all that kind of stuff's going on. So it's not moving on TA, it's moving on macroeconomic events. Just something to keep in mind. Um, Only other thing I wanted to go over, SPX kind of in no man's land. Here are my kind of current levels. I am watching 60/50, and I'm also watching, let's see here, 60/70. So these are the kind of levels I'm watching. I think 6K is almost the most important level. We want to see 6K hold. If we want to get that rally into the end of the week until Tuesday, we have some supportive flows behind us for some buybacks and stuff like that. So just something to watch. These are kind of the levels I'll be trading around. I'm mostly just trading options around them and not the future. So just keep that in mind. And I think that's everything. One thing I did want to mention, guys, if you're in these altcoins, just be safe. They honestly, most of them look like absolute crap. I mean, I can just cycle through a few of them, and most of them look absolutely awful, to say the least. Especially the memes. Especially the memes. Yeah, I mean, look at Bonk. I mean, this this coin is cursed to trade anyways. You guys can see how choppy and just relentless it is, shaking everyone out. But yeah, I mean, sad thing is, if you were going to get an entry, it's probably a good time to buy now. But I don't know the uncertainty with Bitcoin. I'm not touching any of this stuff, so don't don't follow me on that one. Something I did want to mention: we have Coinbase earnings on Thursday. I'll be watching that as well. Yeah, I mean, not doing much, just kind of compressing right now Coinbase, but I'll probably do maybe an options play on Coinbase earnings. It's been on some volatility. Um, let's see, flip through the stocks real fast. Nvidia. I don't know how I feel right now. The earnings on the tech companies were amazing, but we'll see what happens. I think with quarterly OPEX, let's see, OPEX expiration calendar. Let's see, and it is February 10th. Yeah, so we have the options expiry, the monthly, on the 22nd. Okay. All right. So just watching that'll be important. Um, I always like the monthly options because normally when you get these large expiries, they try to pin price in the XPX. So just be aware of that they might try to pin price and really crush volatility when we get around there. So just come to keep in mind. Again, not a lot of opportunities out there. The alts have better intraday opportunities, I think, from a volatility standpoint, like Farcoin and stuff like that. You can kind of, here, let me show you guys a tip. Orion terminal. Here's what I use when I'm scalping. I'll just go over here to ticks and I'll trade something like Litecoin. It has a high tick rate. It just means people are basically trading it. I mean, this BNX, I don't even know what this coin is. Anyways, so something like Litecoin, a larger cap coin. I'll look for the ticks. Also look for the volatility. And it's better. You can see it's better than ETH, so it's not terrible. Then I'll just pull it up here. Let's go to Litecoin. It has been chatting. And then this is kind of how I like to play my intraday trading here. So I have my TPO in the bottom right hand corner. I have my medium time frame here, normally on 30 minutes or an hour. And I'll kind of mark out my important levels on the daily and the TPO. Like this is probably a level I would mark out right here. Kind of this low volume node here. Also lines up with previous day VWAP. So I don't know, just something I've been doing. I normally use the Orion terminal. Go by high ticks, see what you kind of want to trade, and then load up a perp chart and kind of intraday trade. Only do it for a couple hours, and you can kind of tell once you're doing it for a while when the activity falls off really hard. Let me throw this on the 1 minute. And honestly, I'm just looking for quick kind of 1% moves, 2%, just kind of picking up some pennies here while the market is boring. So something to keep in mind, just a tip and trick, I guess. Again, the site's called Orion Terminal. I filter by ticks. I look for volatility. I don't, the market cap, I do like the larger ones. I don't normally trade the smaller ones just for liquidity reasons. But yeah, I think that's going to be it. Kind of recap. Bitcoin volatility is getting absolutely murdered. Um, it's also getting murdered in MSTR and stocks like that. Volatility is also low in SPX. So, not a lot of opportunities right now. I think with Wednesday and Thursday, CPI, PPI, those are the big days to watch and kind of trade around. So that's what I'll be doing. All right, if you guys have any questions, feel free to throw them in the comments. All right, thanks.